Well, let me turn now to Jonathan Lis, also in London. He's a political commentator and a journalist. Jonathan, considering what we just heard from Ollie, is Liz Truss's resignation really all that surprising?
No, it's not at all surprising, which in itself is extraordinary, given that she was only Prime Minister for 6 weeks, and 2 weeks of that was taken up by national mourning after the Queen died, and politics was suspended. But really, for the last couple of weeks, it's been a question of when she goes, not if. And we were just playing a parlour game of thinking about whether it would be the end of the week, or Christmas, or maybe November. After the disastrous mini-budget, which is completely uncalled for, nobody asked for it, which completely spooked the markets, crushed the pound, and sent interest rates soaring, there was really no way back for Liz Truss, who had smashed the Conservative Party's reputation for economic stability and management.
Yeah, that mini budget really seemed to be the beginning of the end for her and her government. I want you to listen to some views from the streets of London with how people are reacting to this development.
Certainly the policy decisions that she made, none of the British people asked for any of those, so right and proper that she should go.
I think she's been hounded out and she's not the first one. I think that's what the media do.
We'll just wait and see what happens next and who replaces her, because I don't know anyone exactly who.
We need a general election because it's just a cycle of rubbish, and they replace rubbish with more rubbish.
It seems to me, listening to those individuals, that the British public, for the most part, lost trust in Liz Truss, no pun intended.
Absolutely. She had the lowest approval ratings of any Prime Minister in history. Worse than Boris Johnson, worse than John Major, any Prime Minister, modern Prime Minister you can mention. I think she had a 9% approving of her a couple of days ago. So really, the Conservative Party, after 12 years, seems exhausted. They don't know what they stand for anymore. Now Brexit has passed as a salient political issue. They have no cause around which they can unify and unite. So the party is incredibly divided. They seem to hate each other. They don't know what to do. And Labour is just beginning to get its act together. But really, Labour has a complete point when it talks about a general election, because you can't just have a system where a party wins power on a specific prospectus and then has carte blanche to do whatever it likes for the next 5 years, including junking that prospectus or completely changing it, as Liz Truss tried to do. There was no mandate for her new policies. There's no mandate for tax cutting. There's certainly no mandate for the austerity which the government is now going to be implementing. And there's no mandate for Truss's successor either. So there has to be a general election because this government is no longer governing with consent.
How popular is that idea, Jonathan, the idea of a general election? Is your country as divided there as we are here in the US?
Britain is very divided, but not on this particular issue. It's most people do want a general election. And Labour is, up to 36 points ahead, an opinion poll lead that we haven't seen for about 25 years. So the Conservatives don't want to have a general election because they know that they will lose it by a landslide. But that is simply putting the party ahead of the country. The country is crying out for change. People are fed up and tired of this government, and they're calling out for an election.
All right, Jonathan Lis, thank you so much, as always.